Welcome back. Now that we've created the necessary hang structures and placed them as needed, we will hang the lighting fixtures that will light the event. The various fixtures available in Vivien's library serve specific purposes and should, ideally, be used as intended. For example, a theater light is typically only required when a gobo projection is required. Similarly, a moving light is only required if light from a single position needs to reach multiple parts of the venue, or if it is to be used as a special effect. All of this will become clear as I explain my fixture choices when I select them. Before we start, let's create a new layer for the fixtures and make it current. Let's also switch to the Drawing Quad tab, where the virtual view pane will instantly show us the results of the fixtures being hung. Finally, in order to see the fixtures' beams better, let's turn the virtual view's ambient light down by accessing the virtual view options. Switching to the Simulation tab, setting the ambient light slider to about 12%, and clicking OK. Fixtures are found in Vivien's AV library. To see a list of the fixtures, open the library browser, click the AV tab, and then click the Lighting folder. The first fixture I will select is the medium par. Par fixtures are used as general spotlights, and their size determines the amount of light that they output. Medium pars are appropriate for lighting tables from above, so we will hang one above the center of each table on the left side of the room. To hang a fixture, double-click on it to pick it up, and then zoom in to where you wish to hang it. Note how the fixture is attached to the cursor. Much like when using snaps, when we approach a hang structure with a fixture attached to the cursor, the fixture jumps off the cursor and snaps to the hang structure. Once it's done so, simply click to hang it and watch it appear in the virtual view. As you can see in the virtual view, this fixture's beam lights up more than just the single table above which it was placed. This is normal based on the fixture's default settings, and something we will address when focusing fixtures. For now, let's continue hanging fixtures above each table on the left side of the room. We will also hang two medium pars on the circle pipe to act as top lights for the low tables, and one above the bar for the same purpose. When done, right-click and select Finish Placing Fixtures, or simply press Enter to drop the fixture from the cursor. Next, we will hang two theater lights on the circle pipe to be used for gobo projections on the wall above the bar. Double-click this fixture in the library browser to pick it up. Click on the circle pipe to hang one and then the other, and press Enter to finish. Now that these fixtures have been hung on the left side of the room, we will mirror them, together with their hang structures, to the other side of the room. As mentioned earlier, this is much faster than repeating all this work on the right side of the room, and works out quite well, since the room is symmetrical. Before performing the mirror operation, however, in order to make it easier to simply select the fixtures and their hang structures, we will switch to the layered database and make all the layers in our file uneditable, except for lights and hang. We will now perform a drag selection which will include all the fixtures we've just hung and the pipes they're hanging from. To do this, click and drag, ensuring that these are all contained within the outline. You will note that the racetrack truss has been selected as well. Since we do not want this to be mirrored, we will deselect it by holding down the Control key and clicking on it. Now, with only the fixtures and the pipes selected, access the Modify menu and select Mirror. Enable Midpoint Snap. Set the first point of the mirror line at the midpoint of the front of the venue, enable Midpoint Snap again, and click the midpoint of the back of the venue to set the second point of the mirror line. The pipes and the fixtures are instantly mirrored to the other side of the room. If it is necessary to adjust their positions so they are centered above the tables, simply zoom in to each fixture and click and drag it along the pipe until it is in the right spot. Next, we will place candles on top of each table in the room. Before doing so, there are two things to keep in mind. First, in order to prevent hanging candles from the pipes, we must disable the hang layer by making it invisible. After doing this, it is normal for the fixtures hanging from the pipes to disappear as well. They will reappear once the hang layer is re-enabled. Second, we want to ensure that the candles are actually placed on top of the tables, meaning that we have to set the height in our file to the height of the tables, which is 2 feet 6. We are now ready to place the candles, so let's switch over to the library browser, pick up the candle, and simply click to place one on top of each table. The 4 low tables have a height of 1 foot 6. Click to place 4 more candles and then press Enter or right-click to finish. Should you wish to see what the tables will look like if they were only lit by candles, you may select all the candles at once by right-clicking, choosing Select Library Items, and then clicking Select Candle. Since the candle is not a very powerful light source, you may need to zoom in the virtual view to see its effect. Moving on, we will zoom back out so we can see most of the room. Switch back to the layer database and make the hang layer visible, which also brings the fixtures hung from the pipes back into view. Our next task is to hang moving lights on the racetrack truss. Instead of hanging them individually though, we will hang one and then let Vivien do the work of hanging most of the others. This is preferred because Vivien can do this more quickly and with greater accuracy than we can by clicking, as we've been doing so far. Switch back to the library browser. Double-click on the moving light to pick it up. Hang it on the upper part of the racetrack truss and complete the hang. The exact placement of the fixture is not important because Vivien will move it to its proper location in a minute. To create multiple copies of this fixture, which is still selected after having been placed, we will use Vivien's Clone Along Pipe feature, which is found in the Modify menu. Vivien prompts us to pick the destination of the first copy, so let's click to the right of the fixture. In the dialog that appears, enter the total number of fixtures you wish to end up with, including the original. Enter the interval at which they should be spaced, and click OK. Vivien instantly hangs 3 more fixtures on the truss at the specified interval, but even though the 4 fixtures are spaced evenly, they are not quite in the right positions. This one is closer to the center than this one. To amend this, we will use Vivien's Distribute Fixtures tool, which will quickly move the fixtures to their correct positions. While this tool has 3 modes of operation, we will use center distribution for this purpose. With the fixtures selected, click the Modify menu, Distribute Fixtures, and then Center. Enable Midpoint Snap. Click the center of the truss, enter the spacing of 6 feet once again, and click OK. Now the fixtures have shifted so that they're evenly distributed and with equal distance from the center of the truss. Repeat this procedure to place 4 moving lights on the other side of the truss. Let's pick up moving light once more and place 8 more of these on the round sections of the racetrack truss. As I've just done here. Lighting the DJ will require 3 theater lights, which we will hang on 3 separate hang structures for best coverage. Two theater lights, also hanging from the racetrack truss, are required to light each of the band members, and the same for the podium. To light the stage, we will hang a single Fresnel fixture from the upper side of the truss above the left side of the stage and clone it 10 times at an interval of 2 feet. This interval is a little too small, so let's increase it to 3 foot 6 when we center distribute these fixtures. For extra lighting effects, let's place a small moving light on the lower side of the truss above the stage. Clone it 9 times, and then center distribute it also at 3 foot 6 intervals. A spotlight is required on the doors on the left of the room, so let's hang one last theater light on the truss above the stage, which we will aim at the doors when we focus our fixtures. To uplight the side drape panels, we will use LED strip fixtures which we will place on the floor. So the first thing we need to do is set the height to 0. Next, in order for the fixture to point up after it's been inserted, right-click on it in the library browser and select Insert on Floor. Zoom in close to the drape panel and click to place the fixture. Next, we need to rotate it to match the angle of the drape panel, which we know is 20 degrees. With the fixture selected, activate the Rotate command. Press Enter to select the fixture by its insertion point. Type 20 for the angle and press Enter to complete the rotation. Should the fixture's position require adjustment after the rotation, simply click and drag it as you would any object for a manual move. To insert the rest of the LED strip fixtures for this drape panel, use the Linear Clone command. Select the fixture. Click the Modify menu and select Clone, Linear. Instead of clicking to set the interval, however, type 2 feet 10 inches, angle 20. Press Enter. Enter 6 for the total number of clones and click OK. Given what we've learned so far, it goes without saying that there is no need to place fixtures manually in order to uplight the side drape panels on the right. Instead, simply select the existing LED strips and once again use the Mirror command to mirror them across the room. Last but not least, we will create a row of LED strip fixtures to light the drape panel behind the stage. Start by picking this fixture up from the library. Click to place it so its left end coincides with the left edge of the drape. And then, after enabling ortho, linear clone it 14 times at a distance of 2 feet 10 inches. This brings us to the end of part 2 of the lighting tutorial. In the next and final part, we will learn how to focus the fixtures we've placed and how to use the light tool effectively to create lighting looks. And we will also look at how to adjust the virtual view's settings in order to get the most out of it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to save your file.